How many times have you searched the Steam store, always scrolling through your favorite category, and you see that one game, always popping up teasing you with these overwhelming reviews? Yet it is still not enough. It has something you don't quite like, and you avoid it like NFTs or the $20 kawaii skin at the store. It may be the art style, some mechanics of the game, it is just not for you. That is Slay the Spire for me. It doesn't capture the fast-paced gameplay and intensity where one look away, one wrong step will send you back at the starting bonfire. When you look at Slay the Spire, you know that the simplicity of the visuals and mechanics is crafted. It is not bloated like gacha games, it's more like the Rubik's Cube on steroids. You understand how it plays, you think you can do it, and get two sides. But who has finished it without watching a tutorial? However, I still needed a push to make me want to play it. So I looked once again through the reviews, and I saw something that I always look up to see if a game deserves my time. Long session time. A lot of reviews with long session times means a lot of people with time to watch my videos. A great opportunity. Also a very niche game, or a really good one that given the chance, may be my heart on Friday nights for a long time. Maybe it was the immense amount of caffeine that I ingested that day, but I decided to roll the dice and put my trust in you, the community. And as a result, I will drag and escort you through the misadventures of a newbie during 15 hours in Slay the Spire. I gather all my hopes as I click new game. The ironclad appears. You have to choose your path as you move forward during the act. It starts simple enough. Small deck with simple cards facing a tadpole that seems to have eaten my old neighbor's chihuahua and evolved into something far too sinister. Yet still with more bark than fight, the first encounters keep the feeling of a tutorial, easy and without much difficulty. Unlike in a challenge, they are as intriguing as reading the terms and conditions, always trying to get over it as fast as possible. But soon all of this will be about to change. I see that the game lets me choose cards after each round. It gives me the capacity, the responsibility to make my own choices. Choices I may have to pay for, and I finally found the reason why I was not allowed to choose my own clothes until 12. Eventually, things start getting a bit more spicy. I face one of my greatest enemies. Finisher of my runs, the Gremlin Knob. Should be an easy encounter, but it will get more angry and powerful every time you try to defend, just as my bully in high school. Thank you, father. He died easy this time, but soon I will learn of his deception. I built my deck not knowing what to prepare for, and I was surprised with myself. I obliterated the first boss. I got the first big dopamine rush, but the game was hiding a dark secret that you will find later on as your experience grows. I thought I was stacking new cards after each fight. It seems I was stacking bad decisions instead. Encounters started to slowly chew at my life, as I chose paths without planning the encounters. A newbie mistake that led me to a taskmaster, a man that seems to hold the same happiness as me while filing taxes, and that mysteriously looks like two kids trying to get into a PG-18 movie. He put an end to my run in just 3 turns. My first run was surely a positive one, yet not enough. I was on the fence about the game, and still in time to hit that refund button, but I could not surrender that easily. The game was showing promise, and it was time to find out about one of my favorite parts, the progression. My dopamine-addicted mind was seeking those rewards, and there are 2 things that made me hooked to roguelikes: not knowing what's to come, and that constant opportunity of getting just the right items that will get you to a godly power trip run. Also that with each run, you will hold more chances. I felt like a kid about to hit a piñata, although the game will later remind me that I was, in fact, the piñata. The rewards at first didn't seem too powerful. I was ignorant of what I had been given, or like my grandma would say, all food tastes the same in the mouth of a donkey. But I had to unlock a new character. My expectations were climbing back up. Hope was not lost, and I jumped right away to try it. I tried the silent, but as I kept progressing through the run, and as I was about to hit the 2 hours mark, I knew it. This was not my character. I needed something with more charisma than a cactus in a desert to keep me playing. And as if the god of luck and randomization was hearing my prayer, I unlocked this little guy for my next run. It changed everything. It sent me deep into the Slay the Spire rabbit hole, pushing my 1-hour session straight into the 5 hours, run after run. Like a pensionist in a casino, I was hooked. Something about his design made me want to play again and again. It was the rewarding experience of melting everything with lighting. As I dove into the game, I was unfolding the game mechanics, learning that some cars are as sly as those Trojan horses when you click the ads of reputable ladies around your area, while others completely flip the game in your favor. Soon, I schooled a boss and snagged the car that would make this character my latest gaming cross. I ventured into Act 2, and it was a whole new world. The enemies up their game and the first sparks of synergies appear on my deck. I was on a quest to find my blue-eyed white dragon, as I discovered the true progression in this game isn't about unlocking new powerful cards, but rather about accumulating knowledge between each run. My fingers were finally away from that refund button as I pushed through the run building the synergies. One card let me have more orbs, another would fill them. Now I could hit all enemies with them at the end of my turn. Enemies were falling faster than my neighbor's kid's snowman when my dog decided to mark his territory. I reached Act 3. In my first run with him, the doors were wide open. It was like a surprise party given by a cartel. The difficulty raised, and it was time to pay the debt of my blunders. Where I could have picked a powerhouse card, I picked ones that were as effective as an Xbox controller in a submarine. The game was not going to let that sink in. I fought on as far as I could, until all my hopes were crushed by an unexpected second phase of an elite, but the damage was done. I knew that in my next run, I could collect those cards, make wiser choices, and channel my inner Sun Tzu to win the run. It was not that easy. I tried, and I failed more times than a one-armed juggler. As I felt each morning the same piling up like dirty laundry as I chose another run over sleep, I knew this would be the start of many runs in Slay the Spire. But wait, this is not the end. I haven't put you through 6 minutes of my bad jokes to let you go with a sour aftertaste. As I was reaching the 15-hour mark, I stumbled upon the deck of Legends, a combination so ridiculously overpowered that I turned the game into my piñata, making Act 3 beg for mercy and call for a session with the game balance team. I know, you were expecting an impressive feat, and some of you did it in less time, but life had to nerf me with cognitive disabilities. What could I do? At the end, Slay the Spire was not the game that I expected, but it is a damn good game.